It seems that today we take photographs nearly everywhere we go, between the boom of affordable digital cameras, built-in laptop webcams, trial cams monitoring constantly for motion, and of course highly convenient and ever-present smartphone cameras. Millions of photos are taken yearly, and have been taken for decades now. As you'd expect with all this exposure, thousands of creepy and unnerving photos exist within the pile of photos, exciting camping trips, life events, and fondly remembered family gatherings, and even just normal, everyday images. Many, if not most of these creepy photographs, however, go unnoticed by the general public. Often physical copies of photos go into a bin, left unremembered, and digital copies get thrown away with the purchase of a new phone. But what if people with these photos had a place to congregate and share their abnormal and frightening images? Well, we've done some digging, and today we'll show you 5 creepy photographs found on the dark side of Reddit that are sure to get under your skin. So, as always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. New Hampshire hikers. To start us off, we have a photograph from Reddit user Kalev. While hiking in the mountainous and heavily forested backcountry of New Hampshire, United States, Kalev snapped her friend hoisting herself up a small cliffside. Another hiker, whose presence was known and accounted for, is seen at the top right of the frame. Above the head of Kalev's friend, and to the left, is what appears to be a young woman in full colour, though somewhat transparent, crying out to the hiking party. The hiking party confirms that there was not another woman present at the time the photo was taken, besides the photographer and her friend, who was shown. Additionally, they did not hear any screams, which would be expected if there was a woman standing in such close proximity. On closer inspection, you can make out some sort of torso, showing a brownish jacket and some sort of shirt underneath. The woman also appears to have dark hair and a light complexion. The presidential range of mountains, each mountain named after a famed US president, is a notable dangerous collection of terrain. Over 100 deaths and missing person cases around the range, and it's not entirely impossible that the woman seen is one of them. Kalev, upon first noticing the apparition, brought the photo to the attention of an online community of photo analyzers interested in the paranormal. Despite claiming adamantly that the photo was genuine and not tampered with, it was immediately assumed to be a Photoshop fake, and her account was terminated. Out of options, Kalev brought the image to Reddit, where it was analysed for authenticity and found to be genuine and undoctored. It's possible that the haunting female image is disarranged pixels or stamped on Kevlar's photo accidentally by the printer, the woman's image being left over from an earlier photo printed. Whatever the reason, this photograph and the desperate, distressed image of the spectral woman is truly disturbing. Trial cam close-up. Next we have a trial cam photo taken on December the 21st, 2011. The picture contains what looks like a male toddler's face, but eyeless and less opaque towards the top of its head. Towards the bottom, you can also make out what appears to be a blue-collared shirt. This photograph was taken by the father of user MCCO8883, who claims that his father is not a believer in the supernatural, and was not attempting to capture anything of the sort. This photo was tucked between several gigabytes of other, normal photos, not including anything spooky. MCCO8883 notes that the photos before and after that featured contain no boy or other solid figure of any kind, which suggests that it could not have been an actual child who looked curiously into the camera. There are several other questions surrounding it being a human toddler, such as why a child was out after sunset at 7:30 in frigid mid-winter temperatures alone. Additionally, the figure pictured more closely resembles a doll's head or perhaps a Halloween mask, considering the hollowed out black eyes and lack of distinct facial structure beyond a vague nose, mouth and ears. Finally, the trial cam used only captures photos upon detecting motion, and as there are no other apparent sources of motion within this photograph, we're led to question what exactly is seen within. If it's not a lost boy, which is a scary thought on its own, could it be something as simple as a prank played by other hunters, an unlikely hoax by the father of MCCO883, or something more sinister that still may be out there? scaring trial cam users one photo at a time. Extra guest. This picture posted by Buttery Lou appears to show a heartwarming portrait of a family cookout. If you look to the right of the happy family, you'll see the unnerving image of a man gazing down, expressionless, at the family, along with some white orbs in the foreground. Conveniently, Buttery Lou has a photo just before the creepy one is shown, in which no one can be seen near or approaching the window. According to the user, they took the first photo, not realizing they were missing the young girl seen in the second image, and did a second take only seconds after calling her over. The man appears to have long, dark hair, wearing a flannel-like long-sleeved shirt, with the sleeves rolled up, and maybe wearing glasses of some kind. His arms are at his sides, and he does not appear to be disturbing the drapes hung inches away from the glass of the window. According to the poster, there was no man fitting that description present for the cookout, though he does closely match the appearance of a recently deceased uncle. Sharp Redditors quickly analysed the photo and found that it had not been tampered with. An obvious explanation is that an intruder entered the house thinking it vacant and was accidentally caught while peering out to see if anyone was home. This reasoning does not hold up entirely, however. For one, no one commented on the man at the time the photo was taken, or the rest of the afternoon. Secondly, it's unlikely that someone could travel fast enough to not be in the first image, only to appear in the second, given they were taken moments apart. Lastly, if this was someone intent of doing harm, why would they linger in the window so ominously and in clear view of the family gathering? We cannot of course say that this is certainly the ghost of their deceased uncle, but their shared resemblance and complete lack of tampering, or other consistent logical explanation, has truly raised hair on the back of our necks. Forgotten student. In the abandoned, dilapidated ruins of an old elementary school, a friend of Reddit user, In the Lion's Mane's mother, who remains unnamed, snapped this photo with her flip phone. In a large room, floor littered with debris, lies a darkened doorway, and within the doorway, a boyish apparition. The boy's facial features can be made out somewhat, hair swept to the side, a rough outline of eyes, nose, and a mouth. This apparition appears to have a short neck and is wearing a white gown cut off at about where the knees should be. This photograph was among several others in the same building, as a friend of the poster was simply documenting the condition of the place while it was being torn down wing by wing. The other photos contain no creepy imagery beyond the expected spooky factor in an old, deteriorating building such as this one. The fact that this photo alone contains a suspected ghost is intriguing. What about the doorway in particular, or the room that lies beyond, lead this spirit to show itself? While In the Lion's Mane does not provide any direct answers, he is skeptical of the image truly containing the spirit of a student of the school, and claims this has become something of a family antique that gets shown around when they happen to discuss the supernatural. No one in his family upholds that this is definitely a ghost. The poster does however mention he lives in a rural, mountainous area, and given the period the picture was taken, has his doubts that anyone from his hometown would know how to construct a false image. Other Reddit users have suspected that pareidolia, the phenomenon of seeing faces or patterns where there is neither, is responsible for this creepy image, and the haunting boy within. If this were the case, you'd imagine that the photographer would have mentioned seeing an object, such as an upturned chair that looks similar to a small child. But instead, the photographer only found the image's spectre after going through the images after the fact. It is of course entirely possible that what we're seeing is simply a harmless piece of debris being confused for a spirit. The poor quality of the photo does not lend itself to deep analysis, but whatever conclusion you find, we do hope this isn't the soul of a lost child, watching in confusion as his school is torn down around him. Haunted iPhone. For our final creepy photograph, we actually have a small, bizarre album. A deleted Reddit user posted about a series of photos taken on his sister's friend's phone, all in the span of a few seconds while she was asleep. The sister, who is a firm believer in the paranormal, insists that these images are the result of a supernatural event of some kind, and she has some ideas as to the specifics. During the initial viewing of these images, the deleted Reddit user claims to see the same image over and over, but at varying degrees of field of view. This does hold up, as the same glassy looking item can be seen clearly in nearly every photograph. This is, however, where the creepiness begins. Because the camera appears to be facing the side of what the user's sister says is a half-full glass of water, that means the camera must have been balanced horizontally, not on its back or front. So the sister's friend either picked it up in her sleep and didn't remember doing so, or someone or something else held the phone in place and shot picture after picture. Upon closer inspection, faces can be vaguely made out in most of the photos. The sister points out two in particular that contain distinct facial features. To add to the uneasy and bizarre nature of this scenario and the photos themselves, the sister's friend claims to have seen an old man in the night the photos were taken, accompanied by a bright flash of light. Now, the flash can easily be explained as the camera flash, whose effects are visible in some of the photos, but there is a distinct old man looking face among the hundreds of others. This would seem to back up the sister's friend's claim that she saw an apparition of a man while briefly awake during the night. To stack on the final piece of evidence of something abnormal, the sister's friend states that she did not even notice the gallery of strange photographs until the afternoon the following day. If she had intentionally done this, she would have likely shown the evidence earlier or posted it online. Her not doing either of these things suggests at the very least that she took the photos in her sleep and did not intentionally stage a hoax. With all of this known, what do you think the cause was? A technical glitch, a hoax, an intruder, or a selfie-driven spirit? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So that's 5 scary photographs found on the dark side of Reddit. We hope you've enjoyed, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.